At dawn, Volfred is already up. He reveals to you a pathway through the woods into the cold lands to the north, beyond which lies your destination. Where's my cursor? There it is. Volfred, yeah. Let's go. Scalorian Shore. The Black Wagon cannot be well insulated for this climate. You get clear of the woods at last and arrive in lands grown cold in the shadow of Mount Alodiel. Alodiel. You will have to make it all the way to the top. In a moment of respite, Volfred calls everyone together to discuss matters pertaining to the rites and to the plan to which he has alluded. You banded together with a common faith that freedom from the downside is not impossible. Am I correct? But let me ask you something. What does freedom even mean to you? He looks in your direction as he asks, defying you to answer. You cannot sense his own thoughts on the subject and only know the truth of how you feel. What does freedom mean? Having no master. You tell Volfred that freedom means not having to answer to anyone, and going through life beholden only to one's own will. He considers your remarks for a short while. Perhaps you left a troubled childhood, my boy, for all of us at one time or another have to answer to someone with more wisdom in the world than we. Though you make reference to the kind of authority which governs the commonwealth we know, which sent us down the river into exile. Would you be free if you were ruled beneath those bylaws once again? He then turns his attention to the whole group. Now, let me tell you all what freedom means to me. Freedom means to live life without fear. To be able to indulge in one's curiosities and passions, at least the ones that cause no harm to others, without the constant fear of judgment and reprisal. Freedom means not being made a criminal for what you know, or whom you love, or what you choose to think, or not think. He looks out towards the distant mountains. Within the next few days, your time in exile could come to an end. You could see the Commonwealth once more. And you would be exalted there, given the highest honors, the opposite of how you got here. But you would not be truly free, I think. At the least, you would become complicit to an ancient system that would deign to cast down others such as you. It is a system whose well-intentioned founding principles have long been lost, and the 8 scribes, if they are out there still, have made quite clear they shall not intervene firsthand. That is where you come in. He turns to you and everyone again, looking to each of you. Long have I wished to gather such a group, that together you might see that seeking freedom only for yourselves is too modest of a goal. You share a higher calling now. The plan, then, is this. We free each other from the downside through the rites, then we meet up on the other side. We organize. Each moon at dusk, Jesus Christ. We join together at the Spiral Sanctum. The burn-down remains at the old capital of the Commonwealth. The remains stand as a warning to those who would seek to spread forbidden knowledge. We need as many of us there as possible. My agents on the other side shall explain the rest. You're plotting a revolt. Just so. I am asking a lot. You do have other options. Deceit, however, is not one of them. The reader and myself, you know by now that we can see through it. But you need not be a part of this, nor is it in my interest to coerce you. You may go your own way if you wish. Live out your remaining days here, like so many others. So if anyone among you prefer that, if you cannot see yourself continuing to strive together in the Commonwealth, as you are doing here, then speak now. Volfred pauses for a time, examining each member of the group. No one stirs. Very good. Some of you consider yourselves friends, others not. But all of you are bound together through the rites and are integral to our plan. Remember that. You seek true freedom, you will not find it waiting for you in the Commonwealth. But together you can bring it about, both for yourselves and others. That is my promise. Then he lets out a long breath. That's it. I ask you all to think on this, and let us reconvene along our journey to the summit. Valfred turns towards the mountains, leaving you to consider what he said and plot the wagon's northward path. Brr, pass. Valfred indicates this is the only way to reach the base of the mountain. Alright. You know, the Commonwealth does seem pretty fucked up, so I can't say I'm surprised that's his plan. Beyond lies Mount Elodiel. I suggest we make camp here at the base of the mountain, for we shall need our spirits and our strength to make the ascent. Discuss the plan. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Tizo. Let us... I wish to summon Tizo. You ask Sandra to administer one of the special tiles. I dare think I remember something of that imp. He certainly stood out from all his ilk, although that really is not saying much. Well, let us bring him forth. Tizo soon appears in heed of the summons. Creaky Key seems prepared for whatever lies ahead. Great job, Tizo. What a hero. The apparition Sandra appears. Listen well, imp. You answer to me here. Tizo indicates his understanding and is prepared to begin Sandra's trial. You know the formalities, of course. Show me then what you have learned thus far about the rites. Here in this trial it shall be just you, my Beyonders, and your lovely reader. Let us see how you fare. Alright. No. Oh, he did it? Alright. I was just gonna touch him. That's fair. My plan was just to run up and touch him. But then I didn't even dash or anything, so... Hey. That's fair. That was deserved also. It's alright. It was all a plan. It was all a ploy. Now we're at 69. Go. Oh, it doesn't need to do much damage. Yes. I love how Tizo runs as well, just with his wings out. What a champion. Great job, Tizo. Look at him go. Yeah. An achievement, the little watcher, presumably for doing enough damage as Tizo. Great job, Tizo. Gotten his, and Rookie, I think, did enough damage as well. Alright. Overshot it a little bit. Hey! Oh. 49, significantly less than nice. Hey. Fucking relax, guys. Jesus Christ. Tizo! Great job, Tizo. Cree-hee-hee. Tizo is excited to have completed Sandra's challenge and awaits her approval. A worthwhile effort, imp. Your performance was sufficient and you passed my test. Your predecessor may well have approved. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now farewell. What's Tizo's trinket? Creek? Tizo is happy to be back and wonder what it is that Sandra granted you. Haub's Wing. Costs less stamina than usual by 35%. Even the sisters were taken aback, faced with such a sheer ferocity from one with such small stature. Yeah. Great job, Tizo. Great job. Alright. Yeah. I don't think there is someone to talk to. Oh, it's you. There you are, my boy. There was something which I wanted to discuss with you, in private. Valfred stares at you, rather intently, as if reaching out to you, and then... You do know what it means to be a reader. Those such as we are not limited to reading pages from a book. Though your ability in this I sense is nascent, still, mere flashes, uncontrollable. I see as well, now that they haven't told you yet, your friends, and that explains a lot. They haven't told you readers such as you cannot go free. I had wondered why you would insist on pressing onward with this group in light of this. The answer, then, was plain. You simply did not know or fully realize. They did not deceive you, by the way. There is no reason they would know themselves other than Tariq, who shall not influence your thinking in such matters. Rather, I had expected, when at first we met, that you already knew the truth of this from having read the pages in the book, which stated plain. Only those who shall conduct the rites first-hand shall walk the path towards enlightenment and become eligible to regain their freedom. Perhaps you have not gotten to that part just yet. Valfred breaks free from you and looks at you again. Then he speaks to you as normal. It is plain that you are not in adequate condition to conduct the rites, and this group values you as a reader. I wish only to ensure you understand what you are getting into here. Despite what other hopes and dreams and promises might have been shared, I do not think the rites can help you to return, if that is what you had in mind. So once again, I invite you to depart, and I will see to it that you are compensated. Do not misunderstand. If it is your wish to remain, then you are welcome. But this journey we are on, it has no guarantees. Not for you, nor any one of us. Do you understand? I understand. You have learned in life to keep your expectations low and tempered. The warning is of little consequence to you. You have always known those keen to warn against one course of action or another. None of it has swayed you, and as ever you shall forge your path. Very well. A lack of concern is fine with me, although I do not share your outlook, as long as yours is not a lack of understanding. Know that we have much at stake here in this anyway. Much more than just a shot at getting back into the Commonwealth, which casts us down here to begin with. It sounds like you intend to stick around. Then we'll have lots more time to chat as we ascend the sacred mountain in the coming days. Until then, he strides out. So, but if he's also a reader, then how's he planning to get back in the Commonwealth to conduct this plan? Earlier, Valfred called for a group meeting, presumably to reveal the plan in more detail. Instead, he reveals some bad news. Wait. What are you saying? What I'm saying, my boy, is that while you can indeed get yourself out of here, it can't be all of you at once. We earn our way back one by one, or not at all. But I swore that we'd go 3 together. We may go 3 together yet, but it's going to take time, and this is only the first phase. You, Hedwyn, and the others exchange glances. Let me make this plainer for you still. Here's how the coming days are going to unfold. First, we're going to ascend Mount Elodiel to the north. You may not think this wagon's fit for it, but rest assured, it's made the journey many times. Next, we'll pass through Scribe's Gate. Only the worthy pass through there, as your reader could attest, if he did not merely skim that chapter of the book. Afterwards, we'll reach Fall of Salium, and we'll meet our adversaries in the rites. They are to be the Templars. The Tempers, not the Templars. The Tempers, led by the demon Ignarius. You'll know him when you see him. Both you and they shall choose someone from your respective ranks. Then, once one of the triumvirates prevails, their somebody shall be whisked home to the Commonwealth. Whisked home to the Commonwealth. Precisely. Once returned, our somebody is taken in and clothed and fully pardoned. The Commonwealth knows about all this, the same Commonwealth that says a sentence into exile is forever and freedom from the downside is impossible. Many of these details the scribes themselves wish to be kept secret. Former exiles and leaders of the Commonwealth alike have good incentive to protect those secrets well. So then, that's it. We'll climb the mountain, someone goes back, and everyone else stays. For most of those participating in the rites, yes, that's it. But I like your connotation, and indeed, for us, that isn't it at all. If one of us returns, it shall be just a step along our path. However, let's let that sit for now. Gather your strength, we'll talk again on our way up. Walfred leaves the rest of you to consider what he said. You have time now for your vocations. At dawn, you'll ascend the mountain. I would like to mentor a companion. I will mentor... Gilman. This knight is always keen to keep the barest scraps of wisdom, Master Reader. Yeah. So grateful is this knight for such a glorious occasion, as he is giving strong consideration to performing here and now the forbidden dance of the Sea Dominion. Freeze the bad man. This knight's aura, you have surely seen it, no? It cascades like a flowing waterfall. Great. Continue the journey. Mount Elodial. I did know ahead of time that only one person got to get sent back, but I also just kind of assumed that we wouldn't get to go back, because, I mean, we don't really, like, exist in very firm terms, you know? Here, and just generally, like, Supergiant games are not, like, super happy, right? Here before you lies Mount Elodial, stretching far beyond your line of sight. Somewhere upon this mountain lies the only place from which you can escape the downside. Your companions gather around again before Volfred, who stands tall as ever. Whether the cold air or the subject now at hand, you sense a tension in the air. Now then, you all have many questions, no. I've done a lot of talking, so go on, ask away. But there is only silence. One question stands out in your mind, which you refrain from asking yet. If only one of you is to go free at first, who shall it be? Go on now. Go on now. Don't be shy. Who first? Questions? Why us? Why you indeed, madam? That I can explain. You've seen the sort you stand against it as adversaries in the rights. What is it they want, do you suppose? They want their freedom back, of course. They'll settle for it on the Commonwealth's own terms. They'll gain their freedom and some cushy new responsibilities. Perhaps then they'll have a hand in sending still more exiles here to join us. Think on it. The Commonwealth rose from the ashes of a fallen empire thanks to the efforts of the first exiles who escaped this place via the rights. It is the Commonwealth's first and proudest tradition to honor those who live to redeem their transgressions. They have a certain wisdom, do they not? But, as for you, I have been looking for a certain set of dispositions for a good length of time. All I needed was for somebody appropriate to show up and to listen. So I planted many little eyes and ears throughout the land, whispering hints of this, absurd as it may sound. Took someone with a certain faith and creativity to go for it. That someone proved to be Hedwyn over there. He was tasked with seeking 2 trustworthy adversaries, an old buried wagon, and a reader. He was invited to bring others for the ride, all different sorts, gather enough help, and he and his friends could be free. Long story, but you know much of the rest. So then why you? Because I've reason to believe you're not the sort to play right back into the Commonwealth's old hand. The rights, as you have seen, are quite exclusive. You are imposters in this little party. You could be the ones to break it up. Now then, more questions. Your head is beginning to spin. You can excuse yourself or keep listening. Yes, this is important. Volfred's explanations are a lot to take in, though you feel compelled to absorb as much of what he's willing to tell you at this point. He prompts for further questions when Jody raises her voice again. Hold. You mistook my meaning. I understood your plan. Still, I wish to know why us. Why are we, among all others, chosen for this liberation rite? Ah, I see. Well, that is simple, really, madam. You are chosen. You are qualified, I should say, because as the expression goes, 'tis what the scribes ordain. Though in this case the expression is quite literally true. When the 8 created the rites, each one of them anointed certain exiles to participate on their behalf, exiles who showed some promise of redemption. The triumvirates they formed have stood the test of time, replenishing their ranks as their individuals moved on or passed on. You've met them as they are today, the accusers, the withdrawn, and so on. The 8 scribes also formed a special group against which all others would be judged. That group they called the Nightwings. You bear their books, wear their masks and raiments. You need but show up to the rites, you see. The others erstwhile jockey for position for a chance to take you on. Yeah, well, what if we don't? What if we don't show up? Then you would deny yourselves a chance of freedom, and deny it also to your adversaries. Adversaries, Jesus Christ. Victory means nothing in a common rite, then. Participation is all that matters. Not so, madam. Only the enlightened may gain their freedom. While failure can be an excellent teacher, the scribes do favor the victor. So you see, those who do not conduct the rites or do not prevail in them sufficiently, they may find themselves barred from the liberation rites. But these are technicalities. The Nightwings disbanded years ago. Since then, no one has gone free. Yet still, the other triumvirates pressed on with fleeting hope that one day you'd be back. It's been a heavy price to pay in all of this. Now, if you'll excuse me, we'll talk again some other time. Some murmur to themselves about all as Volfrid takes his leave. Others reconnoiter pathways leading up the mountain to present you with some options. Emperor's Ascent, Emperor's Fall. Faye believes the Eight Scribe will bless whoever goes through here. Pamitha expects some long-lost valuables to be stashed here. I like the valuables. The most logical place was, of course, just jump straight off of this and go up the other path, right? You join Pamitha on her brief expedition to find anything of value dropped by those who tried to scale the mountain but did not succeed. Wait, I shall be joining you. What now? I get 2 chaperones? But sure, I'm game. Whatever you wingless are into. Be silent, little bird, and fetch those trinkets and be done. My, so full of bitterness. You really ought to make the most of these last precious moments that we share. And you ought not to mince your words. Oh, please, we all know we're going to be the first one. You're going to be the first one out of here, so why not quit your constant frowning for a change? I, the first one out of here? Of course, it's plain the others pity you. You've been here longer than the rest of us by far. Besides that, maybe Volfrid, though he seems pretty happy here, making his speeches. How dare you? How dare you presume? Nothing is decided as of yet. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Though if by some coincidence you do end up selected for the honor, I just want you to know something. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, do hope we shall prevail on your behalf. Because that way you shall be free, of me at least, and I, in turn, shan't have to suffer any longer your hideous attitude towards me and everything. At that, you intervene. Jodi's eyes burn with fury, but then she calms herself. I shall see you at the wagon, reader. Pamitha scoffs as Jodi storms off. I swear that one. Well, moving on. There's something sparkling down there. Be right back. She swoops out of sight. Pamitha soon returns with something that lay long forgotten in the rocks below. After Bearer banishes an adversary spawn, a moondrop, which briefly grants infinite stamina. As fairies presumably do not exist, it is likely they came to no harm in its creation. Well, that's fair enough, I guess. Oh fuck, more. Hedwyn expressed a passing whim to see the view from here. Sir Gilman wishes to look upon the sacred waters here. Well, we're going where Gilman wants to go. I do like Hedwyn. I was tempted to go that way. Hedwyn's like just an objectively nice guy, so you know. At long last! The worm surges towards the water of the cistern. You decide to join him for a brief excursion there after another hard day's ride. You find him in a shallow pool, appearing very much contented. This night, he thought he may never again feel fresh water's cool caress against his scales. He sighs, splashing about from time to time. Then he turns his attention over to you. You, Master Reader, are most kind to take with you this wayward knight. He swears to prove himself to you and to the rest. He knows that soon now someone may go free. He knows the choice of whom may weigh upon you heavily indeed. For it is you who ought to make the choice, is that not so? This night he heard it from the others, so it must be true. Now listen, please, upon what little honor this knight has. This knight's penance isn't yet complete. There's much atoning to be done, so when rises the occasion to decide who ought to go free, this knight wants you to know something. Please do not choose him, not even if you wish and not even if you can. He begs of you, allow this knight this simple dignity. With that, Sir Gilman sinks into the waters. His tail waves to you to leave him be for now. Does not believe that he deserves freedom yet. Hey, got XP, look at that, nice. Alright. It probably wasn't gonna be Gilman. I am thinking about Jodi, or Hedwyn, presently. both of them kind of feel like they're the ones that deserve it the most out of everybody, you know? You and your companions gather at Scribe's Gate, where the single narrow trail to the summit narrows even more and falls upon an archway carved of stone. Come along now, everyone, and be prepared to speak your mind when you are called. Frankly, most of you still lack enlightenment, but we may pass together. Know much how we act is to get much... But we may pass together, much how we act with a single heart and mind during the rites. Well then, lead onward, Tariq. Please follow me. Removing his hat, the lone minstrel approaches the gate. You and the others all follow. When the last of your companions is near the arch, you notice someone standing high above, who then appears before you. She eyes the lone minstrel first. Is that you, Tariq? It is. Greetings, Celeste. And how is your rest? Too long, Celeste. It seems your work has piled up in the meantime. You bring this many to the gate. Aye. Then let us make this quick. She gestures towards the rest of you. Now each of you, in turn, state who you are and what you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. Do as she says, please, without questioning. Your fellow exiles exchange glances, but quickly comply. I'll start. They call me Hedwyn the Deserter. I came here seeking freedom for myself and my companions. In my case, so I can return to be with the one whom I love. The woman bids him forward. The lone minstrel prompts Ruki to speak up. I am regarded by the name of Ruki Greentail. I just want to get out of here, I guess. With my chums, preferably. Go see Mama back home. I am Captain Jody. I do not truly know as yet what I am seeking here. Oh, my name is Faye? And I am here, I think, because the scribes have called to me. It must be them, because if not, then who? Tizo seeks to live up to the Nightwing's legacy, and maybe see the Commonwealth someday. Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion at your service. This knight is on a quest to find his honor. He lost it at a certain point. Pamitha Thane, I am only here because my sister's here. Then as Volfred steps forward, the one called Celeste raises her voice. You, I recognize you from the Nightwings of the past. You are not clad in the raiments any longer. I would know why. I had my chance already. The Nightwings that now stand before you, I travel with them as a pilgrim now. I see. Then state why you are here, as have the others. My name is Volfred Sandalwood. I seek liberty for each of us so that one day we might all stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. She waves him by. She then turns to you, for there is no one left to go. I don't know who I am. You cannot for the life of you recall a time before arriving in Downside. Details of the Commonwealth are scarce within your mind. Perhaps you wanted to forget the place. The one called Celeste continues to examine you, expecting you to add to your response. I want to help my friends. The companions you have met here who have helped you to survive and to find kinship in the Downside, your priority is to ensure that they achieve their goals. That is all you wish for now. The woman regards you for a time, then nods once and waves all of you by. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome here. Go forth with glory. And Tariq, I, Celeste, be on your way as well. The lone minstrel bows his head, puts his hat back. He does not look back at her. Great job, team. We in there. From the top of Mount Elodial, you can see the distant Downside before you. You think on the many thousand leagues you cross to reach this point as the sky grows dim. Jody appears to be prepared for whatever is to come this night. Though it is not yet dark, she is already in her raiments. Hedwyn soon joins her, also looking ready. Any sign of Ruki? None as yet. Complained about chafing at the collar of his mask. Our freedom might be hinging on that collar, then. I am certain that it is. They share a laugh together. The 3 of you exchange glances, but nothing is said, nor needs to be said. Soon, if Walfred is to be believed, one of your companions may regain his or her freedom. Hey, what did I miss? Am I late? Is it starting? Is it starting yet? Easy, Rookie. We got a little time. It isn't starting yet. How fare your struggles with your mask, Greentail? Feeling a lot better, thanks. Just had to smash it repeatedly against a wall for a little bit. Put some of the old nerves to bed there for good measure. Though, this is really happening, huh? One of us might be getting out of here. Like soon. By dawn, in fact, if all goes well. If all goes well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. What are you getting at, Greentail? Well, it's just... we might be breaking up the band here, people. If one of us gets out, that's been bugging me for a while now. I thought we were all getting out of here at once. You should so look at you. Some of us, we might not be getting out of here at all. Hedwyn slams his fist against the wall. No, not if I can help it. We made a promise to each other, each of us, the four of us. We're all getting out of here. I care about the others too, I do. But we've been here from the start, I want you to know. My promise is to you, and I believe you'll do the same for me. So it's like this. If any one of us gets out, great, but it's just the start. We're going to do whatever it takes there, on the other side, to make it so the rest of us can get back too. What, do you think they're gonna build a bridge down here if we ask nice or something? I don't know what it's going to take, I just know we have to try. Jody turns to you. Rita, we shall find a way. She nods to reassure you, and to reassure herself. Rookie nods his head in turn, and Hedwyn's gaze never once falters. Well, my friends, I think it's about time. Let's go. One by one, they turn towards the door. The fall of Cilium awaits, a vital step in your quest for freedom, yet you feel in your heart that it shall be only the first. Well, let's look at the book. The imp Haub and I, we helped to save my emperor, and when the danger did subside, my emperor Cilium Mur, he said something to me, which shook me to my essence of my being. He said, "You gave your freedom, Master Galothian, so that I may yet have mine. You too now are an exile of the downside. In all the days which I have left, I never could repay the mercy you have shown to me. So, if I cannot do this in this life, then I shall do it in the next. We crossed the land together, and together with the imp, we gained the company of those who saw in him what I did." Is this so cold it can burn the skin, but keep the wagon cool and food fresher longer. Keepsake from Scalorian Shore. Hey guys, you say you're all aware. I know how you come here. How come you made it all the way up here? Alright. You're here because I got the lowest prices and all the downside, am I right? Some of the new stuff I got in stock. You're getting a lot of value here, an awful lot. Unlearn any masteries and choose again. Alright, I'll buy one of those just in case. It's one of them scribe snuff thingers there, huh? One dab of those little guys, you'd be like, ooh, know what I mean? They're pretty popular, but I got my connections, and they got connections, and they got their connections. They got plenty of those. So just come and see me and Dad here later on. We ought to have one back in stock. I don't know who I'm going to free. Pleasure was all mine, says. Cause like, it's weird, right? Cause you wanna free the ones that you like the most, but then they'll be gone, and you won't get to see them, right? Gilman doesn't want to go, so Gilman's not going. But like, who do you pick? Cause right now I'm thinking Hedwyn or Jody probably deserve it the most out of everybody. But it's like, you know, I like Rookie. So like, I want to pick Rookie, but I don't want to pick Rookie. It's weird. It's a weird situation, you know? It's a hard choice. Obviously not Pamitha either, because she presumably doesn't want to go. Tizo presumably doesn't want to go either. Tizo going is kind of a weird one to think about, to be honest, right? Like, especially since apparently you get like special benefits back on the other side, so like an imp's gonna show up and they're gonna be like, hey, it's the new captain of the treasury, right? Like, that's kind of weird to think about. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking Hedwyn or Jodie out of everybody so far. They're the ones that make the most sense to send up. Yeah. Let's commence the rites.